Welcome everybody to the HolloTalk Podcast. This is Jetpack Nick, and I'm here with a very special guest today, Miss Candy Caroline. Say what's up to the people.
Hi, thanks for having me on the show.
Of course, of course. So before we get started with anything about who you are, what you're about, and what you do, we have to give you a special early birthday shout out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Your
Yeah, I
birthday's
appreciate that.
tomorrow, right?
Yep, August
Okay, all right,
6th.
so we starting off early celebrating your
Yep.
first podcast right here on the Hollow
Yeah,
Talk Podcast.
I love it.
Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so let's get right into it. So for the people who don't know who you are, can you let them know who you are, what you're about, and what you do?
Yep, I'm Candy Caroline, singer-songwriter, independent artist. I write all different types of genres. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. I love dance music,
Hmm.
R&B, and definitely the reggaeton stuff. But do I write all different types of genres? Yes, I would. I can, and I would love to get into more. So,
Okay. So getting into the writing part and the performing part, do you have one that you like more than the other, or are they equally good for you?
they're equal. Yeah. I love both. So, I love to write. You could put me in the studio and I could sit there
Mhm.
and just, I'm creative in that sense. But am I also an entertainer? Do I love to be, showcase that? Absolutely.
Yeah, because that's like one of those questions where people always ask, like performers, do you like live performing more than like actually crafting the song and being in the studio? And some people say, yeah, no, I like performing live in front of people, and some
Yeah.
people say, no, I like the process of sitting there thinking of an idea, writing the lyrics out, going in the studio, laying my vocals over and over again with the layers and the whole nine. You know how it is to be
The
an
whole
artist.
the whole process. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's always interesting to get perspective of like different artists of what it is that they like about the creative process or more so the performing part to some people.
Yeah. Both. But I can definitely say, and I think I can speak for most artists. I think we all have a little stage fright. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So it's just getting used to it. And I haven't done it in so long, to be honest. I just recently sang for the first time. I had a buddy that asked me kind of randomly, and I was like, okay. And I thought I was going to be stage fright in the sense of where I was nervous, shaking, and your voice shakes.
Hmm.
And that can change your whole performance of how you sound. Um, and I wasn't. I was calm, but I found out I was nervous in a sense where I forgot a couple lines here and there. You know
Yeah,
what I
that
mean?
happens.
And it happens, but what I've learned is like you play that off. You're just like, yeah, like something, you make something up until it hits you again.
Exactly.
And so it happens to the best of us. And hey, if I'm gonna make fun of myself, I'll throw that out there before anybody else.
No, as you
So,
should. It's one of them
yeah,
things where you just got to kind of take ownership of
yeah,
just the performing part of it. So, like for me, like I had mentioned on the HolloTalk podcast before, so I come from an acting background. So, like when I did stage acting, it's easier to mess up like doing that because the people don't know what the lines are supposed to be.
oh yeah,
Unlike music people tend to know what the what the lines are supposed to be. So if you
yeah,
mess up, they're gonna be like, that wasn't the line
yeah.
was supposed to be
Or
said.
the cool part too is if you're doing a cover, they don't know how much of the cover you've changed.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's also kind of the cool part in there
No,
because they don't know.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people like perform live, and these are people that have been performing for 20, 30, 40 years. And granted, everybody's not going to remember all the words to every song that they've ever made, let alone
yeah,
just people starting off that might got, a couple songs, then they might not even know the words to all their songs because they so new maybe. But
yeah,
it's definitely something that's like a situation where you kind of just gotta go out there and own the stage or own whatever you're performing at or on. You got to
yeah,
just own it and be unapologetically yourself and
yep,
perform like the
yeah,
motherfucking house is on fire.
yeah, yep. Everyone, all eyes on you, and you're like, what? You know?
So does that give you like a great feeling to be on stage? Like, does that make you feel like you're in your element, or is that just something that just comes with being a performer?
No, it's definitely in my element because I feel like I've always naturally been an entertainer. I mean, ask friends and they're always like, dude, you're you walk in, you're like the light of the party, you know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
that's just personally who I am. And then that side of me, since I was little, I always was like had a hairbrush or something in my hand, and I was like walking around like singing. It's like for me that just comes naturally. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just getting used to it. You know what I mean? Not
Yeah,
doing it in so long. It's like, but it felt natural. It felt okay. This is where I'm supposed to be. You know?
of course, of course.
Yeah.
Do you have any memories of your first performance, like your first live performance?
Talent show, like probably. Gosh, I would have to say it was probably middle school when they let you do like your solo. I remember obviously elementary school, but that was always with like the class, right? You were always
Right.
singing. But for sure, middle school, I remember having to sing, but I was with a friend, so we sang. But that was like, and I remember being nervous, right? Because it's like you
Of
can't
course.
see. It's like the lights are on you and you cannot see anybody, which should kind of make it easier, right? But then you're blinded by
Yeah.
these lights. You're just like, oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah. No, I completely understand. What was the song that you sung?
what was the song?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Eek, I don't remember. If I had it, honestly, if I had to take a wild guess, it would, gosh, you're freaking throwing me back like years. It was probably freaking Vanessa, is it Vanessa Williams?
Vanessa
No.
Williams.
Trying to think of the song. It was like a slow song.
Okay.
It'll come to me. It's like one of those. I'm surprised
No,
I don't remember her name.
no, it's
Um,
okay. Vanessa Williams is a legend. Shouts out to Vanessa Williams, by the way.
yeah. And
No,
that song, gosh, it's gonna bother me now.
I see.
Um,
My bad. I ain't mean to.
I
No, just them lights are shining on you right now. Like, oh
I
shit,
know. It's
what's this?
like I forgot the words.
No, it's all good. No, I ain't gonna lie though. So like I had music as one of my classes in high school. So as a mandatory thing for us to graduate, we had to do a live performance, like a live band performance in front of the whole school, and the whole school was like included too. So like teachers and staff was also a part of this thing. Like they
Yeah.
had their own bands that they had to form and work on 2 songs for the year to perform live. And for my band, I was the drummer. So so
What kind of band did you have?
we had we just had a band, but we did what did we do? We did Beat It by Michael Jackson,
Okay.
and we did See You Again by Charlie Puth and Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so a variety of so
Yeah.
so when we went out, I had to go out first because I had in Beat It, the first thing you hear is the drums.
Yeah.
So I had to go out first. It started off, set the tone, and rock the
All
house.
pressure all of it was on you first.
All pressure on me. So what I did was we had like a little costume box in the back.
Yeah.
And I went in there, I grabbed me a wig, threw a wig on. We had like the little fake tattoo sleeves. I put a couple tattoo sleeves on. I was a whole different person when I went out there.
Yeah, it's like you have to have this like alter ego. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Yeah.
And when them lights hit, you heard me. I
Ah.
was out there. But like you said, I couldn't really see nobody. It was just nothing but lights. They were
Yeah.
hot as fuck.
They were super hot. Yeah.
But
I don't
I
think
had a
people
job to
realize how
do.
hot those lights are. You're just like, oh my God, I'm sweating back here.
It was so hot. But I had a job to do. I was gonna go out there and rock the goddamn show. And that's what we did. We went out there and
That's
rocked the show.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was so
So
basically what I feel you is what I'm saying.
yeah. Oh yeah. So you've been playing the drums for a long time since you were young. Is that
Yeah,
like one of your first instruments?
I played the drums since 7th grade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was like the main instrument that I played. So my first instrument that I ever got was a harmonica, but I
Oh
didn't but I didn't stick with it long enough to know how to really play it right now if
yeah.
somebody gave me a harmonica again. But that was my first instrument that I've ever got. And then once I got to middle school, I was like, I think I like the drums. So I joined the music program and started playing the drums. And then in high school, we started
Nice.
learning how to play the piano and guitar, which I'm not good at by any stretch of the imagination, but I know a little bit about a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I tried guitar and I was like, nope, not my thing. Growing up, my brother played the keyboard. He actually we were both very self-taught. Like
Okay.
he played the keyboard and he was like, I'm not just saying this because he was my brother. He's my brother, but he literally like learned on his own. Like he
Hmm.
was like amazing. And so
That's how
I
we
remember
go.
I used to tell him, like, why don't we start a band? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why don't you play and I'll sing? And he's like, no, you're annoying me. Get out of here.
Sibling shit. Sibling
Yeah,
shit.
siblings. So it's like, but I was like, fine, I'll just go sing on my own.
And that's what you did.
um, and that's what I do. And then songwriting, so do you want to talk about
Yeah. Let's
like
get into it.
instruments? Gosh, what is it? The flute? I
Yeah.
think we all played the flute, maybe. You're like, ah. And that's actually what I kind of remember learning like vocals. If you think
Hmm.
about like a flute, you know what I mean?
Okay.
That's kind of how I feel like our vocal cords can be in a sense. It's like it could go in and out,
Hmm.
learn with the right techniques. But songwriting became a very big part at a young age. I think in third grade is when I think I mentioned that too. It was like we started learning how to write poetry.
Hmm.
And to me, that came so easy to rhyme words. And so,
Of
since I
course.
already liked to sing, that's how I kind of put it all together. And I would create these little songs, like melodies off of it. My mom would be like, how do you know anything about like love at that age? You know what I mean? But I feel like when you're gifted in a sense to like write or feel emotion, it's just like it
Hmm.
comes naturally. There is no how do you know? It just you're born with it, you know?
No, that's a fact.
So
That is
yeah.
definitely a fact. I
Yeah.
mean, I think the writing process in anything, let alone music, is one of the most interesting, if not the most interesting things because of the storytelling element. Storytelling is like
Absolutely.
that's how the world goes around. You don't know
Yeah.
anything unless somebody's telling you, like a griot, for instance, back in the day. That's how things get passed down by the storytelling elements. Movies, TV shows, all storytelling. Every
Yeah.
acting, all storytelling. Music, storytelling. So that ability to tell a story is second to none.
Right. And you never know what that particular song or that story, how it can affect somebody or how
Yep.
it can relate to somebody. And so for me, I feel like that's a big deal because it's like I love to inspire people,
Hmm.
not only in what I do professionally as, being a fitness trainer, but it's like also being able to touch your soul literally with music and words. And some people listen to the lyrics and others don't, but it's like why, you know what I mean? Like that's to me
Of
that's
course.
the important part. If I can touch your soul with my music or get you to even dance, like, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
I've put a part of me out there already, to
Yeah,
share. So
which
that's
is
how I
which is
feel.
one of the hardest things to do for a lot of us. A lot of us don't want to share ourselves with the world. Like we kind of want to just keep things in, and I don't know if they'll understand me, kind of thing. Even
Yeah.
even if it's something that you think is relatable. Like we've all lived life. Now, granted, we've lived like different parts of life different ways, but the human experience is something that we all can attest to and that we all can relate to in some form or fashion. You don't have Earth for millions and billions of years and think that all these people have lived a different life completely. Like we've had to have some similar experiences at some point.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean?
Oh, we've all lived different lives. I believe in
Right.
that. I'm a very I'm not religious, but I'm definitely spiritual and I
Hmm.
believe in all of that. So, and energy and everything and I believe we're all here for a purpose,
Of course.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and just being able to connect with people, like even me through the podcast, like, being able to have people come on here and just, speak, speak unapologetically and speak comfortably just about
Yeah.
who they are, what they about, and what they do, and just their opinions on the way the world works or just the way that things work that we are, currently talking about. Like that to me is one of those things where I can bring the ability to storytell into the world and have people listen back to these, a day
Yeah.
from now or 10 years from now, and then they'd be like, damn, like that conversation that you had with Candy Caroline, like that shit really inspired me when you was talking about the way y'all, write songs and stuff like that. Now that influenced me to write a song a different way. But at this moment, we don't know that that's going to happen, but
Right.
it could.
Yeah. And that's the best part is helping, and especially like the way I see it, the younger generation that's out there, it's like being able to inspire them and to honestly be whoever you want to be. You know what I mean? Whatever it is that you want to be, don't let anybody stop you. You know,
Mm-mm.
that's the most important part that I've learned, especially in the music industry. You're always going to have a door closed on you. You're always going to be told you're not good enough. There's always going to be something. But the one thing that I've learned is trust yourself, have your
Mhm.
dream, say it out loud, believe in your, what you want, manifest it, and it's already yours. So that's the important part is like don't shut yourself down, don't dim yourself for anybody. Like go out there and be the best you can, and it's consistency. It's showing up every day, it's putting in the work. Nobody's going to hand you anything.
No,
So
not at
that's
all.
yeah, you got to work for it. So
Yeah, and I really do think that, just to piggyback off of what you said, like just having a dream and being able to say it out loud, write it down, make that
yeah.
shit real for you,
Hmm.
Like of course, like everything starts in the mind. Like we have an idea, we have a thought about something. Like really put that shit
Yep.
down, write it out,
Yeah.
say it out loud,
Yep.
and make it tangible for you to really
Yep.
say, "Oh, I can
And
really go
believe
get
it.
this shit."
It's
That,
it's
that too.
believing in it, and it's literally I wrote all of it down. I made
Hmm.
like a manifestation soul diary, like
Yeah.
everything that I plan from now to the future, and believing and knowing it, and having that spiritual guidance, and just knowing, like I'm here for a reason. I'm gonna do this. I was meant to do this, and nobody's stopping me this time. And I don't care. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm going for it.
As you should.
Candy
As you
Caroline in the world.
No, and you have. I mean, you taking steps to make it happen for yourself. Like Exhibit A, you're here in the HolloTalk podcast talking
Yeah,
about what you do and who you are and what you're
yeah,
about.
yeah,
That's taking a step to put yourself out there to let people know this is who I am. I'm a damn good writer. I'm a damn good, damn good singer,
yeah,
dancer, the whole nine, fitness
yeah.
trainer. Yeah, yes. Let's talk about that. So you fitness train. You got your own gym, right?
I have my own gym.
Okay.
I I've literally been like fitness enthusiast for like forever. Um, I'm a former IFBB pro bikini competitor.
What?
Yeah, so that's under my belt too.
Okay.
So am I used to the stage? Absolutely. I feel like when I had to do that, your total, think about like runway models, like
Mhm.
Victoria's Secret, but like fitness. You know what I mean? But with a little bit of that like more sexiness. So it's like
Mhm.
for me, that felt natural too, because like I said, the stage feels like I belong there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So anyways, the whole fitness industry, I've always loved it. Loved to, the health part of it. So that's what got me into doing personal training. When
Okay.
I my first competition I did in 2009,
Oh, wow.
and I won first place.
Oh.
Yeah, first comp. Yeah. And so from there, honestly, it kind of just took off. I
Mm.
think within the year, if that, because let me look at my trophy. When did I turn pro?
Like, let me look
2011.
at my trophies real quick.
Yeah, I was like, that. Can you see the big girl up there?
I can.
So that is actually when I won the overall. That's when I turned pro.
Okay.
Yeah, so I beat out, I believe, 157 girls in
What?
my height class, because
Okay.
they go off height.
Okay.
So 157 girls, like in
That's a
my
whole lot of people.
that I was like, do it. Um, and then obviously each person that wins that, you know, that particular, all of them, all first place winners go up and they compete with each
Mhm.
other. And let me tell you, I'm only 5'1.5". Okay.
Uh,
So when I competed, I'm competing with these girls that are like almost 6 foot tall, and they're
mhm.
like wider, they're but I've always been, I look short, but I'm long and lean. You know what I mean?
Got you,
So
got
it's
you.
like I was able to compete with these girls. And I beat them, and I won pro. I took over, the whole thing, which was amazing. But that didn't last very long, to be quite honest. Living that industry where you're honestly very dieted down, because you are, um, it's hard. It changes your persona, your hormones. I lost friends out of it because people don't
Okay.
understand it. I feel like when people don't understand something, they don't know how. It's not their fault. They just don't know how to relate or support you in that sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So it became an issue where I just was like, I had to step back from it.
I got you. I got you.
But I can say I did it and I loved it. Would I go back? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Shit, it sounded a lot like the music industry.
Pff, yeah, I mean, politics play a role for sure. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I don't want to speak bad because honestly, I had a great journey. Did I
Yeah, of
experience
course.
some stuff? Absolutely. Just like I have with the music industry
Hmm.
in my younger days. But I think with anything, you learn from it. And I honestly could say, like, I, jumping back into the music industry for me, I had to give myself a little prep talk
Right, right,
in the
right.
sense of like, I got to build that tough skin. And
Hmm.
so it's like, I knew this is what I want to do. This is my dream. I keep, God's put me back in this on this journey for a reason. It's like I got to keep going on the path. So I'm here, but yeah, I feel like anything within that is tough. You have to have tough skin, right?
Of course, of
Yeah.
course. Shit, in anything that just living life, you gotta have tough skin.
Mhm.
Some things require tougher skin than others, like
Yeah.
being in the music industry.
Yeah, and trust me, it's gonna hurt when people tell you things,
Of
but you know
course.
what? What's Aaliyah saying? Dust yourself off and try
Yep.
again.
Dust yourself
And
off and
that's the
try
best.
again.
Yeah, that's the best thing you could do.
Hmm.
It's like it hurts, but what, like, just whatever.
Yeah.
The most successful people were told they weren't good enough. Lady Gaga was told stuff like, if
Hmm.
you have a list of celebrities and they all pushed, they were consistent,
Yeah.
consistent. Now look at them.
Yeah.
So
Shit.
at the
All
end,
you
that's,
need is one win to change your life. You just need
yeah,
one yes to change your life.
yeah,
You You can have a million no's, like literally a million
literally
no's, and that one yes, you're
changes your
Lady
life.
Gaga now.
Yeah. And honestly, that's what I feel it takes. It literally, there is one person or people out
Hmm.
there that will believe in you,
Of
see
course.
it, and get behind you when you have the right team. Oh gosh, that's like you're, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it's also it's work in progress. Like I said, nothing is handed to you. It's
Hmm.
a sense of you have to prove it and own it at the same time.
Hmm. No, that's a
What
fact.
about you?
What about me exactly?
Any doors closed?
Oh yeah, of course. I
Any
mean,
fitness journeys?
oh no, not no fitness journeys per se. No, of course though, doors have definitely been closed on me, but like especially like in the podcasting space, like it's people that I've went up to and was like, hey, gave them my pitch to say, I want you to come on my podcast, and they was like, people give you the runaround of, oh, I'm gonna get to you, but they never get to you, or they'll just be like,
Yeah.
well, there's nothing that you can really do for me right now. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, that's cool. But at least I went up and made my introduction and put a face to a name. Let
Yeah.
you know what my brand is. The whole thing of like I'm Nick Jetpack Nick, host of the HolloTalk Podcast. I also do this, that, and the third on the side.
Yeah.
But this is who I am. I am in front of you, sir or ma'am. Like
Yeah.
I'm letting you know I'm in the rooms that you're in. So obviously I'm doing something right in some
Right.
form, fashion, or capacity. But you telling
And
me no is nothing for me at the moment.
and the way I see it and what I've learned too is in the music industry, it's like, yeah, it's amazing. It's great if when you do get an amazing
Of
opportunity.
course.
But what I've learned is, do I need them or do they need me? Is the question,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And it's like, if you're already independent, creating your own brand, doing your things, what does that say?
You doing
They
your
need
thing.
you. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? They see the potential. they see, ting. But it's like it all goes back to having the right team and the right people. And
Yeah, no,
so
that's a
when
fact.
it's yeah, and when it's aligned, then it's gold,
Of course, of course. I definitely want to make the point to tell people that's going to listen to this episode, do not get it confused when people tell you, "Oh, I did it on my own," or "I did it by myself." No, they didn't.
Yeah.
Trust me when I tell you, no, they didn't, and you shouldn't do it that way anyway.
Yeah.
Get yourself a team of people that can help you get to the levels you're trying to get to, can support you in ways that other people cannot, and can just be
Absolutely.
an emotional support for you as well.
Yeah.
Because everything that we do is difficult and it's mentally draining in
Oh my
ways
gosh,
that we can
yes.
see or cannot see also. So
Yeah.
make sure you got yourself a team that is going to
Yeah.
support you through and through each and every day, or in the moments where you really need them, because nobody
Yeah.
does it on their own, no matter how much they try to spend that
Yeah.
shit.
It's difficult, and trust me, it's difficult. That's why it's like it's hard. There's days where I'm like, oh my God, like, but it's like, okay, I got this. You know what I mean? And it's like me recording on my own. Like I'm
Mhm,
figuring that out, like half the time I'm like, what, how do I fix the freaking mic? Like I'm stepping back, I'm playing with it. You know what I mean? It's
mhm.
like, it's fine tuning it, but it's like, doing the best I can and then sending as good as notes as I can to the producers to mix and master. But it's like, trust me, if and I do have a friend that helps every once in a while with the
Mhm.
engineering part, but that's tough. Like, and then it would just be so much easier. You know what I mean? Having like going into a studio and be like, all right, let's lay down the vocals and somebody doing all
Yes.
the work there. And all I got to do is sing. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, I know that all too well. So for the people who listened to the pod before, I'm new to the recording part now, so I'm recording music myself.
See? So you get it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm learning how to use all these softwares and all this
Oh,
shit, because I'm like, bro, all I know how to do right now is just press the button and lay my vocals. I don't know how to do anything else.
yeah. And that's what I mean about self-taught. Like I sat there and taught myself how to use these like softwares for music. Like I started off with like actually it was Band Lab.
That's
Just so
what
you
that's
know,
what I use.
I
That's
don't
what I
think I
use
mentioned
currently.
this. I started all my stuff on my phone.
Oh,
I was
I
like
a lot of people
recording.
do.
Yeah. I was literally recording my vocals with my voice memo.
Mhm.
Um, then I started with Band Lab.
Yeah, shouts out to
And then
band lab.
yeah. Is it Vocalin or Vocal? I don't know. It's another app. Played around with it, discovered like AI apps that
Mhm.
can help generate like music, created my own clone, my own vocal clone. So I pioneered my
Oh
own
yeah, yeah,
clone.
we talked about that. Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I think I might be the first person to have pioneered and used my own AI clone for performance. I did a lot of research. I mean, don't quote me, but
Okay.
there are, from what I researched and I screenshotted
Mhm.
everything, um, I there are a couple singers, but they cloned their voice, but they
Mhm.
sold it to like for
Gotcha.
license use. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So is that different from how I used it? Because I'm using,
Well, if
I
you're
don't know. The
if you're
music
the
industry
first,
is hard,
if you're the first, I'm taking credit for it.
Yeah.
I would take credit for it if I'm technically the first.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I researched, and please, if I'm wrong, like, please correct me. I'm open. But
Research. Who cares? It's
yeah,
like no.
trust me, I researched. I'm pretty good at that. I'm like, people are like, you could be an FBI agent. Like, I'm just like, let me look up this, you know? Um, but no, it's just creating stuff.
Mhm.
Being creative and just knowing. But also I'm just so in tuned into that. So it's like, for me,
Right.
I love music, and I'm very self-taught, and I'm a hands-on
Mhm.
person, also visual. So I learn like that. So, but is it my passion on that part of it, getting on the, technical side? Absolutely not. No. I'm like, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I can't figure this out. But then
Mhm.
thank God for like YouTube. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Chat GPT. Like, how do I figure this out? You know?
No, yeah,
You're
for sure.
laughing because you know.
No, I do know because I was about to say like that's so like I always said I could never be a music producer. Like I could not do it because I would be trying to like fine tune everything to the gills. Like nothing would come out if I was a producer. Like nothing because I wouldn't think it was perfect enough.
Well, maybe for your, I think we're hard on ourselves, you know,
Yeah.
what we hear. And the way, what I've learned is how other people hear us is completely
Hmm.
different. And I was
That is
actually taught,
very true.
my vocal coach taught me that if you put your ears your hands this way through your ears, you know how normally you're this way? Yeah, when you're trying to catch it, like you're trying to be like on key or like find the key, right? You're listening.
Hmm.
But if you actually flip your hands this way and sing or even talk, like this is how people actually hear you, and that's how you when you're
Really?
singing. Yeah. So if you're
That's
ever
crazy.
questioning yourself,
I
you
need to
know,
try that.
yeah, hear it that way. I'm telling you, I've learned so much, like working with amazing people that like taught me new techniques and
Hmm.
ways to get out of your head, Candy. You know, like you're too hard on yourself or so that's why sometimes when I'm recording, I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna send it. You know what I
No,
mean?
that's a fact.
Because
That
or
is
else
a
you're gonna sit there and like criticize and keep doing it, and it's like
yep,
so.
yep.
Yeah, you know.
And I'm saying it like that because I so like last week maybe I was in the process of recording a song on BandLab and I was putting my just raw vocals down and I
Yeah.
was listening to it and I'm like mm. I took like 30 takes of this shit and
And
then
then
at a
you're trying
point
to
I
figure
was
out
like
what am
fuck
I
it.
doing wrong, right?
But it wasn't bad though. It just
Yeah.
wasn't perfect. Like, and that
Yeah.
was bothersome. And I knew, like, just even doing anything like with my vocals, like even with the podcast, perfect is a myth. It's not a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And if you think it's perfect, it's just a really good engineer that's making it sound good. This is your
Yeah.
raw vocals, bro. Like, this
Well,
is not fixed up or nothing.
no, and that's honestly, I remember like being in the studio back in the
Hmm.
days, working with an actual producer when I would
Hmm.
record. It is completely different because they're already like putting vocal process on you as you're recording.
You like
There
templates
is,
and everything.
yeah. So what we're doing at home, yes, it's absolutely raw and
Hmm.
authentic. Like that is us. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, shit, if I had a fucking team recording in a damn studio, my shit would already come out. I'd be done in an hour.
That's what I be saying. And I also learned con disorder. That ain't even always true neither. It's people be in
Yeah.
the studio for fucking
Days.
days and months and shit. They be like, bro, I cannot get this shit right.
Oh, well, and I also think that's too with like from what I've heard. I spoke to one producer that said, you know, they do have a lot of times with these bigger artists, they come in and it could be days. They
Yeah.
could start off with a song being a certain way, and a month later it could be completely different. And these
Mhm.
artists have multiple songwriters. Like,
Yeah.
so I can come in and be like, okay, I have the song, this is it. Boom, boom, boom. Somebody's gonna change it, make it commercial, you know. Great. That's why you have a team, you know.
Yep.
That's how these artists are successful, besides the fact that they're good, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But they have a team behind them that are like, all right, this is how we're going to elevate it, you know?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep.
But props to us for,
No, but that's the thing though. Like as a new artist like myself, like that's one of those things that even though I'm very well versed with music. The recording process I've never really done before. So it's
yeah,
kind of like, okay, yeah, I know music, but this is something different. Like,
right.
how do you take these raw vocals or just an idea and craft it into what you would hear on the radio or what you would hear in your headphones when you listen to an album on Apple Music or Spotify or so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And that process is like, oh, okay, all right, now I see what's
Yeah.
going on. These raw vocals that I've been listening to for the last 2 hours, trying to figure out why I don't sound like what I heard on the radio. It's because I didn't do anything to it yet.
Exactly. Yep. And
You
it's
know.
amazing when you do, when and they're just vocal cleanups, right? It's
Hmm.
like they do all that little work, but it's like
Yeah.
even just a little bit of that, it's like, wow. Because I have Logic Pro and
Hmm.
another app on Terrace that I've like learned to use, and it's like I'll go in there and play with my vocals to make demos. And yeah, you clean them up. It's like dry, wet vocals. You add things to them, and it's like, holy shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn. But it's
No,
like, and then
that's
it's
a
just
fact.
creating the whole element of the song, layering your vocals, doing all that. That's the fun part for me, to be honest, like that
Hmm.
creative part. So
Yeah, that's the part I dread.
I love it. And honestly, that's what I miss is being in the studio working with a producer. It's like sitting
Hmm.
there and doing it and then having ideas and just working with someone that you guys get each other. That's the important part. It's like you have to work with someone that gets you and you get
Yes.
them. And you guys, and that's what makes it so much more fun. And all of a sudden you can have idea and it's like, hold on, let me go in real quick and like do some ad libs or let's, maybe redo this way. But when you're by yourself and you're singing your raw vocals, we're like, damn it, let me do that one more time. You know what I mean?
No, this is all the way true. So like me personally, like I'm a believer of the get with one producer and do your whole thing because I just think it's easier to I guess convey ideas and bounce things off of one person than it is off eight people
Yeah.
or however many people that you will work with. Like, and sometimes you might get magic in a bottle where you have everybody bringing you their absolute best and it's just a match made in heaven with every one of those people, which is very rare, far few in between. But just me as an artist and just knowing how I work, I think I like the idea of working with one person that that understands your vision, you
Yeah.
understand their vision, bring that shit together and you make magic. And
Yeah.
it's easier, at least in my
Right.
estimation.
And also being open to opinions.
Yeah.
I'm definitely always, because we're gonna have a vision on our music or how
Hmm.
we see it, but it's also being open to somebody else's vision on it and their suggestion or their opinion, and not being like, well, no, that's not what I wanted. But it's thinking about, okay, how can that, okay, I see that, all right,
Hmm.
and I think once you have that understanding, it just makes it so much easier to work with someone, because you don't want to be difficult.
Nah, well, shit, and you definitely don't want to get the label of being difficult, and then that
Yeah,
circulates, and people don't want to work with you because they think you're difficult.
right. But
Yeah.
also being honest if something's not
Oh
what
yeah,
you
yeah,
want,
for sure, for
Yeah,
sure. But you that's one of those things where like hopefully you work with somebody that you have that trust and bond with, to where
yeah,
if you do say something or they say something to you, you don't take it personally. And I'm sure you know
exactly.
this as well as I do, being an artist of any kind. Somebody giving you feedback. I don't even call it criticism. I'll just say feedback. Somebody give
Yeah,
you feedback. You might take it personally when in reality it wasn't nothing personal at all. It was just, damn, you should have moved this way and that way, or maybe you should have said this word instead of that word. You'd be like,
yeah,
man, this the way I wrote it. This is what it's gonna be. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
they'd be like, damn, bro, I was just trying to say it might flow better this way, but do you think?
I think too, it's also finding the right words. It's like the way people, say something, because it's like somebody
Hmm.
may not mean to say it that way, or
Right.
that's not how they were trying to, get it out. But not everybody has the right way of communicating verbally. You know, what's the saying? Words get lost in translation sometimes, especially in text messages
Hell
or
yeah.
emails. I'm like, can you just pick up the phone and can we communicate? Because I'm like, I'm not understanding this.
No, hell yeah. Yeah, that's the it's and too, it's one of those things where you also have to communicate well too to
Yeah,
convey what it is you're trying to say or trying to get across. Because if I
yeah,
don't understand what the hell you're talking about, I may say something that comes off wrong to you because I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
yeah, yeah.
So everybody has to play their part when it comes to communicating properly, communicating well, and communicating clearly.
Yep, yep. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
So I want to go back to something too. So when we was talking about getting into the music industry, you was talking about getting back into the music industry. So did
Yeah.
you leave at some point, or
Um,
like what was the story with that?
so my obviously I've always since I was little wanted to be a singer.
Hmm.
I so since gosh, okay, so I was in choir in high school.
Okay.
I did pop stars too. I tried out for that. I pop stars too.
Okay.
Because there was one and two, and that was in San Francisco. I remember my parents driving me to that.
Mm.
People were literally lined up like outside, and I was one of them that slept
Oh
outside with my
wow.
mom. Yeah, my mom slept with like we did we sleep? No, it was freaking scary. You know what I mean? It's downtown San Francisco.
Hmm.
That was that. So at that point I like tried, I like, worked with a producer. He was amazing. My first song actually that I wrote with him was called Ecstasy. So it's funny how that kind of circled back into the universe.
Yeah.
Um, but like I said, I went and tried to do it on my own. I would
Hmm.
literally go knock on, local label recording places like here within San Diego, LA kind of area. And they're like, oh, well, you're marketable, or oh, you'd get the your
Hmm.
sound, maybe, I don't know, maybe keep trying a little bit more, come back. But it's like, well, what do you want when I'm already fucking don't need you? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so, and it was just constantly that. And then just, I tried. I was always in music or, did vocal lessons. But it was
Hmm.
honestly like at the time, I'm going to say straight out, I had a freaking boyfriend and he's probably going to watch this. I don't give a shit. But, he wasn't very supportive at the time. And he was like, well, nobody's, where are you going with this?
Hmm.
So being at that age, and I want to say I was probably 19 or 20, like
Okay.
I finally was kind of like, okay, maybe this wasn't meant for me. Maybe I wasn't meant to do what I want to do. So I kind of let that go, but I still
Hmm.
did my singing, still did like my vocal lessons, writing. It's always that's never changed. And so just kind of there was a time where I finally kind of was like, maybe it's not for me, and I let it go. And I remember one day I tried to sing. We were, I think, doing karaoke, and I'm like, what happened to my voice? Literally.
Wow.
I was like, where did my voice go? You know?
Mm.
Um, and that's where I was just kind of like, wow, that's insane how your voice, it's a muscle,
It is.
it's insane how, and obviously we'll get into how I got sick and
Hmm.
everything, but down the road anyways, I had always wanted to do it. I allowed other people to dim my light, and that's my fault, not blaming anybody, but that is no longer happening.
Good.
So if last year, at the end of December, I got really sick with laryngitis. But before I jump into that, I'm going to give a very straight, honest truth. I was depressed for 2 years.
Mm.
And I think a lot, I'm going to be pretty open about this. Depressed, I don't know why, but I figured out why. I thought I was like happy in the sense of what I was doing in my life, having my
Mhm.
own business, but something felt missing. I couldn't figure it out. I was like sad in a sense of I didn't know why. I would start crying. I'm like, I just don't know why I'm sad. And that was about maybe about a year and a half, 2 years of that. And it kind of just
Mhm.
got worse and worse. And I was at a point where I want to cry when talking about it because it's honestly, whew, give me a second.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Um, so it was literally to the point where I was like, what am I doing? Um, Speaking of a Rob podcast, right?
Yeah, no,
Um, that's
this
honestly
is
when I
this is good.
found when I kind of just I hadn't spoken. Like I said, I'm not religious.
Mhm.
But I knew there was something going on in my life, how I felt.
Right.
So I remember just being on a walk. I had a break, you know, for work. I went on a long walk, and I just literally asked. God for help. I was
Mhm.
like, I know I haven't spoken to you in a long time, but I need your help. I'm lost. Like, what am I doing?
Right, right.
And all I can say is after that, like, literally, my prayers were answered. Spirituality, like, everything just kind of came together. And my music was the number one thing that, like, just came back, you know? So at that time, I got sick with laryngitis. And if anybody's ever had that, you're supposed to heal from that within a week, right? A week and a half. Mine didn't. And it kept lingering and lingering. And by the third week, I was like, hey, had a friend that's a PA, and I called her and she's like, well, give it a little bit of time. It's that time of season.
Mhm.
People are like dealing with this.
Yeah, yeah.
And at that point, I had already made the decision. I was already working with somebody. I was back in my music, vocal lessons, working in the studio. And then it
Right.
set me back. I was like, what the fuck? Um, so that ended up happening for pretty much like 5 months. I ended up I had to beg doctors to
Mm.
like get me in to see ENT. The ENT kept telling me I was fine. She didn't see, at first she thought she saw something. Then it
Mm.
was like, no, you don't have any nodules, but you have severe inflammation.
Okay.
Um, so in this time, I also was having all these other crazy, like, infection, sickness kind of happening within my
Mhm.
body, things that I've never, had before.
Right, right.
And so I was like constant doctor's appointments, and nobody really knew like what it was. And it wasn't until I went to the dermatologist and I was kind of telling her, all what I was going through, because I had gone
Mhm.
to her. I was like, something's like, why am I getting this stuff on my face? Like, weird infections were
Yeah.
happening. So then I told her I was like, can you look at my legs? I'm like, because I've had, you know, this weird stuff going on in my legs. And she looked at it right away and she was like, ooh, she's like, do you have an autoimmune disorder? And I was like, no. She's like, have you experienced blood clots or anything? And I'm like, no. And she's like, that's called livedo rectiliaris, if I'm saying that properly. So it's
I
like a
would I would
skin
have to Google,
yeah,
but
you could look it up. It's a skin condition. Your skin gets really thin, and as you can tell, I'm pretty tan. You know what I mean? So for you to see my veins on my
yeah,
legs,
yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Mhm.
Um, so she's the one that actually asked for my a full blood panel.
Okay.
So that came back, and the funny part is, it came back that I was slightly positive for an autoimmune,
Oh, wow.
but not the numbers weren't high enough for them to consider it alarming. But
Okay.
but it came back and that explains inflammation. That explains what's going on with my vocal
Mhm.
cords, you know. But literally, I was told, don't lose sleep over it. A lot of healthy individuals have autoimmune disorders and they live with it for the rest of their lives. But I'm like, but everything that's going on, and I'm pretty in tuned. I'm healthy, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So long story short, I started doing, I already had like this, I felt like a spiritual awakening happening. So I took it into my own hands. I started doing natural like healing, going to acupunctures, energists, and
Mhm.
literally, I want to say, if you hear my first recording on my Instagram, I want to say my post was like May 2nd or 3rd.
Okay.
You can still hear how raspy my voice was. Like it was deeper. For me, you know.
Mhm.
So I want to say right about that time, my voice pretty much came back. And that was me just taking care of myself, seeing these energists and healing and believing, and like that natural, just knowing like, you know what, I'm not going to listen to these doctors. I'm going to heal myself, take it within. I'm going to keep writing my songs. And during this
Yeah.
time, that's when I discovered AI, create your own music, cloned my own, voice at the time, which is funny too. The first app that I ever used was Marika. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
Mm-mm.
So it's funny because you can sing into it like the melody and stuff.
Mhm.
and I think we talked about this. They're not always
Yeah,
like, they come out like, oh, what the heck is that?
yeah.
And at the time, because my voice was raspy, I was literally like,
Mm.
hey, like I had to force myself to like get my voice out. It created like, it created like a guy. Long story short, it actually finally, when it heard my voice, it was like,
Mhm.
oh, you sound like our AI model. And her name happened to be Candace,
Oh, wow.
which I'm like, and then when I used her, like, oh, well, let me see how she sounds with my song.
Mhm.
And I played it to my brother, and he was like, is that you singing? I'm like, isn't that crazy? She sounds like me. And my brother couldn't believe it. And that's why I was like, the universe. It was literally like, and that was my way to keep going until I got my voice like officially like back. And so yeah, that's my story on that part. Sorry,
N
I'm like,
Nah,
it's
you
a sensitive
good.
subject in a sense of, depression is a big deal, and I don't think people really, you never know when somebody's depressed. I'll
Yeah,
put it that way.
right, right.
Somebody, you could literally be talking to them and you'll hear this, and the next day they're gone.
Yep.
You never
Yep, yep,
know
yep.
what somebody's going through. And I always say, take a step and listen. Like, we're all humans, be kind. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has, a heart. We all have feelings. So it's like, to me, that's important to understand. And for me, music, that's why I'm like, that's my storytelling, you
Mhm.
know? And I do have a song that I wrote that when I do release ballads, there is a song called Lost Within Myself that I wrote
Okay.
of when I was depressed. Um, and that song, till this day, I cry.
I was just about to ask you, I was about to say, can you listen to that song without crying?
I can't even sing it. I
Oh,
freaking cry.
wow.
You know what I mean? It's that deep of, because it's my soul. You know
Of
what I
course,
mean?
of course.
All my songs are, but when you sing about something so within,
Mhm.
and I think that's like, people relate to that too, because it's just like, you never know who that can help.
Yep. But what circles right back to what we was talking
Yeah.
about earlier, just
Yeah.
that whole storytelling element of you not
Mhm.
knowing who this story can get to and how it can impact their lives positively,
Yeah.
negatively, so on and so forth. You know, it's a real powerful thing, and that's why, like, at least on the podcast for me, I try to create as comfortable a place for people to come on and talk to me, whether it's their first time talking to me, if it's their 100,000th time talking to me.
Yeah.
When you come on the HolloTalk podcast, I want it to be the most comfortable place that you've ever felt that you could talk to anybody about. Not like a therapy like office or anything, but but just somebody that you can rely on to be like, all
Yeah.
right, when I go talk to him, I know no judgment is going to be casted. Like, I could just literally, talk about how I feel or what I'm
Yeah.
thinking at that moment or whatever,
Yeah.
and the whole mental health thing too. I tell everybody this that comes on a podcast, no matter what they do, what background they're in, like what discipline they're in or whatever,
Yeah.
mental health is something that I talk about on the podcast every episode.
It's important. It's
Every
it's
episode.
it but for me it was like that part of my life, I think it was, and I was aware of it. That was the
Hmm.
thing, is like, I'm a very aware person.
Which is good.
You know, I wouldn't hurt myself. Like, there wasn't, but I was trying to figure out why I felt that way. And I was
Hmm.
digging into the wrong reasons. And I knew they weren't, you know what I mean? Why I truly felt. And what I came to find out, it was my music. I was lacking that. That is my soul. That is who Candy Caroline was meant to come and do in this world.
Hmm.
And that's why I just, people are like, oh, tippy toes. No, I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm diving deep in this one. You know what I mean? I'm like, I've already waited too long. I've stepped back for people. I'm fucking going for it. And I'm here and I'm not stopping.
And you shouldn't. You
No.
should not.
And
You should be here and do your fucking thing. Do your big one.
yeah,
And this is a step to doing your big one. And I'm happy to be a part of
thank
your
you.
journey, a small part, but a part of your journey
Well,
nonetheless.
you are a part. We were meant to, you know what I mean?
Of course.
meet and we're meant to be here and do this. So I always
Yeah.
believe there's everybody meets for a reason.
Of course, of course. But like I said, though, that mental health conversation, though, is definitely one that I always want to talk about with anybody that comes on the
Yeah.
podcast, whether that's the topic of the conversation or not. It always seems to circle itself back around to mental health, because if you're not healthy mentally, nothing else is going to be healthy, whether you think it is or not. You be like you said, you have ailments that you ain't even fucking think that you could have, all because your brain is not healthy, and
And
then
our brain
your
is a
body reacts to it.
powerful our brain is powerful. You
Very
know,
much
we,
so.
we can make ourselves believe anything.
You can
And
make yourself sick by just thinking you're sick.
exactly. Exactly. And that's what I started thinking, am I doing this? Am I making myself sick because I'm depressed? Am I, and that's why I took it upon myself to be like, nope. I'm like, I'm too strong for this. I will not allow whatever energy that is to take me down.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And I fought it. I'm healthy. I'm happier,
Yeah,
honestly, than ever. Like, I'm
good.
in the best element of my life. My music is my soul, and I'm here to share it with the world, so I'm
Yeah,
happy. And
yeah.
honestly, a lot of people don't know that. I don't share that often,
Hmm.
but I think I should, because like you said,
Of
mental
course.
health is an important. I think people don't talk about it because they're ashamed,
And
you
there's no
know?
reason to be ashamed at all.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my background when it comes to
Yeah.
mental health. But before that, I want to know: have you ever did therapy before?
I honestly did. I think I went in for, or, did 2 sessions,
Okay.
and we talked, it helped, but I'm going to be honest, there was something in my gut that's like, that's not what it is. You know, I knew, I'm like, yeah, I'm talking about stuff that, like, is it really what's bothering me? But that's what my own intuition was telling me, that my higher self was telling me that, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I had to finally, that's literally when I was like, God, please help me. Like, what is
Yeah.
going on? Who am I? What am I supposed to be doing?
Mhm. Mhm.
So, and
But
everything after that just honestly aligned itself. So,
and that goes back again to another part of the conversation that we was having earlier, where you can't get what you need if you don't communicate it clearly, or communicate
exactly.
exactly what it is that you want or need help with. Like going to therapy, you might not have felt it that way because, like you said, you wasn't saying the things that it really was. But then you broke all the way down and you talked to God and you told God exactly what you needed, and you
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's beyond, honestly, if I feel like I wish I would have brought it. I have a journal, my song journal,
Mhm.
where I write my songs. I mean, my phone's half the time with me, so, but I just, anything that I would experience, I would
Mhm.
write down. I would have all these dreams, and, like, numbers started coming to me in my dreams. And I know people that are spiritual and, like, aligned in that understand that,
Mhm.
but I had
Yep.
all this stuff and I wrote it down.
As
Wrote
you
it
should.
down. And one day I came into work with my client. She was my first client. And I opened the door. She comes in. You know, I come to set my stuff down and I see a feather on my counter. And I was like,
Hmm.
what? I was like, where'd that come from? How did I get in here? I was like, no way. That didn't just, I'm like looking to, like, did freaking something happen? So I was like distraught. I couldn't even train her. I was like, how the heck, did that happen? So crazy me, FBI. I get on my phone and I go through my camera. I'm like, how did that get in here? I'm trying to find something. It was actually her.
Wow.
She didn't even know what to do with it. She looks at it. She looks at me. She looks at it. She sets it on the counter. The
Mm.
funny part, she asked me right after that, how's your voice doing?
Mhm.
Which I thought was like, we barely talk about that, but
That's
that's,
weird, huh?
yeah. I was like, it's still, I told her, I'm like, you can hear it. It's,
Mhm.
it's there, it was on its way back. Um, and then I asked her a few days later when I saw her, I'm like, hey, do you remember putting that feather on my counter and bringing it into the gym? And she's like, what? I brought a feather into your gym? And I'm all, yeah, you don't remember? She goes, no.
Nope.
So then that's when I realized, oh, that was the universe. They used her as a vessel to like guidance, support, like that's where I was just like, all the magnificent things that I'm just saying, when you I can't even talk. When you just believe and you manifest of all the things that you want, your desires,
Hmm.
and you believe, you know what I mean? And you show up every day for it, you work, it comes to you. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
that's, and so I'm so grateful for that. Like I'm every day.
Yeah. 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 And again, like the mental health conversation and the therapy conversation is always a big one for me because I personally like experienced it firsthand, like going to therapy and everything. So my first time going to actual therapy was in college. So this was
Okay.
probably my maybe my junior year, maybe in college. So I was already deep in the trenches of college before I went to therapy, and I used to walk by the therapy office like all the time,
On
and
campus.
yeah, on campus,
Yeah, yeah.
and the door was always closed, obviously because the
They had a
therapist was having
session.
yeah, they was
Yeah.
having sessions, so I would walk by it all the time, and I'd just be like, I wonder what's going on in there. so so then I walked
Someone's
by.
breaking down and crying.
Yeah, yeah. So I walked by one day and the door happened to be open this day. And me, I peeked my head in there. I was like, what you doing there? And the therapist was like, come sit down and
Aw.
just see what's. So then we got to talking and just about the whole process of therapy and what it is, and how I would go about doing it if I wanted to really do it.
Right.
And I didn't really know that I needed to do it, especially at that point in time, until I sat down in the chair and we got to talking. And then we got to talking, and they was like, "All right, here, take the paper, sign the paper or
Yeah.
whatever, so you could like be an official client of mine." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I signed the paper, and then I went for the next 6 months, I think, maybe like the next 6 months of the rest of my schooling, and it was very, very, very good.
So
It
you
was
felt like
very
it
good for me.
helped you. It helped.
Yeah, yeah. It was one of those things where I think my therapy sessions might have been a little bit different than everybody else's because I was almost like the therapist in therapy. Like I was asking my therapist life questions, like I was
Ah,
giving him advice.
yeah. Ah.
But it was fun though. Like it was one of those things where like when I first walked in, it was two chairs. So it was the chair like in front of the desk, like where their seat was, and then it was a chair in like the corner of the back of the room. So I
Yeah.
started off in that chair. It had a little coffee table and a water table and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
And I would sit over there and I'd just be looking like I don't know if I trust you. And they
Yeah,
be trying to talk to me.
yeah, that's so funny.
They be trying to talk to me. I'll be like, mm-mm. But then each and every time I came, I would get closer to the front. Like I would get closer to
Yeah.
the desk. And then eventually I was basically sitting in the therapy chair at a point. I was like, okay, yeah.
You were able to open up more and you felt
Yeah. I was like,
comfortable. And
this is what's
yeah,
going on in your life. You
yeah,
my therapist, but I'm giving you therapy.
yeah,
Yeah, it was cool for me. So it helped me get prepared for what my life would be like once I got out of college. Because going from being a kid to college, if you go to college, you're always like in a structure kind of situation. Like you got a schedule of I go here at this time, I go here at that time, I eat at this
yeah.
time, so on and so forth.
You have a
So then
structure.
so
Yeah,
then once you leave, you kind of got to make your own structure. Like once you like what they like to call going into the real world. Like once you get
right,
out of college, you kind of got to have your own
right.
structure. You got to create it. It's not just given to you. So that alone is one of those things where it's like, okay, this is anxiety inducing. Like this is not something that I'm equipped to handle at all,
Yeah,
especially at 21. Like I'm I'm not equipped to handle this at all.
I mean, you're still young at 21. We're still
You're
trying to
you're
figure
you're a
the
baby.
world out.
You're still a
Yeah,
baby for real.
yeah. And it's like it's literally like you're thrown. I mean, I guess that's what the animals do, right? They're like, see you later, figure it out
That's
yourself.
exactly what they but they're not that far behind though.
No.
Don't get it confused. You gonna mess with them. A mama lion or a mama bear will come right around that corner and say, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, literally. Slap you. Get.
Mhm. No, yeah, but that's basically like what it was for me at that point. Like, of course, going through college too, just the trials and tribulations of being a college student on a college
Yeah,
campus. Going, trying to deal with social life and trying to deal with grades and so on and so forth. But
yeah.
then just that idea of, oh shit, I'm about to leave soon. Like what I've known for the last 3 or 4 years is not about to be what I know for however
The
long else,
rest, yeah,
unless
yeah.
I go back to school or something like that. But you know, and that idea or that mentality is like, I've never experienced this before. And then too, one of those things that makes it makes it clear to you is you're in an environment with people who are also in this same situation. Like you're on a college campus with 20 somethings or 19, 18-year
Yeah.
olds who are away from home for the first time mostly and trying to figure it out just like you. So it's a hodgepodge of a bunch of people who are anxiety filled,
Who
who
feel lost
right.
is what it is. You feel lost and like you're just kind of you're faking it to make it in a
Hmm.
sense of like, yeah, so you go to college, it's like great. But honestly, like from what I hear, a lot of these kids don't know what they want to do.
No.
They feel pressured to go to college because the parents want them to, or I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like I could tell you right now, I wanted to be in the music industry my whole life.
Hmm.
But as time went on, it's like I had to pick things within that I love to do. And
Right.
actually, one of my second jobs, so one of my first jobs, right after high school, I worked at Vaughn's
Okay.
I was a grocery bagger.
Okay.
Did that for a year, and I had a friend that worked for here. I don't know if they're in any other states, but here in California, Warehouse Music. I don't know if that's back in the days, you'd
Mm.
go shuffle through the CDs, the tape recorders and stuff. So I ended up working there because I was like, it's music. I love music.
Mhm.
I did that for a few years and then I was like, I need to get a real job. I was like, I need to get a job that makes money. Like, I can't do this. This isn't going anywhere,
A job with benefits.
Exactly. And yes, I found one and I was miserable. I was an underwriter, did homeowners insurance I was like, ugh. I was like, I cannot do this. I'm like, it's
Mhm.
just not, because I'm just this person that's like, I have to like move around
Yes.
you know,
Yes. Yes.
and it's just depressing. Was it great money? Yes, absolutely. Benefits, great. Wasn't for me.
Mhm.
But yeah, I actually have a resume of things that I've done. And
Well,
in that time, I'm over here. I was still trying to like be a singer, songwriter,
mhm.
trying to figure out like how to do that. And it's like even right now, it's still figuring out how to do it and managing it. I'm sure like with your podcast, do you do, what do you do outside of podcasting? I should ask.
So I do a couple of things. So, like I said, one, I just started working
Right.
on the music and stuff. So that's another one of the things that I guess like dedicating some time to. And I also do film. So I work on film. So I did 2 short form documentaries
Oh,
for
nice.
nonprofit organizations. Yeah. So I'm always with a camera in my hands or
Right. So
something like that.
you still found things within
Yes.
your passion, like you're still
Mhm.
doing things within that. Yeah, so like for
Yeah.
me it was a little bit of the same thing, and it's like I was a little bit in and out. Did the music, warehouse music, did that for a few years. Then I went to beauty school. I got my
Mm.
esthetician because that's hand in hand.
Dang, you did everything. Goddamn.
Yeah, esthetician, IFBB pro competitor, business owner of a personal training studio,
Mhm.
elite master trainer, by the way.
Okay.
And then obviously, yeah, finally my real passion, like it's, where I feel who I truly am. I'm not saying that any of those other aren't, because I love to be at work. I love my clients. I love fitness and I love being here. It's also my
Mhm.
little oasis. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And sometimes I use it too as my recording studio. If I need to get away, like I'll just come here, like, close my blinds, and it's like you get in a vibe. You know what I mean?
No, that's a fact for sure.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So like when I was recording the songs, like I had got my new microphone and I set it up to my laptop. I went right in the closet, shut the door. I got it. I got in my mood. I got in my mood. I had the like the one little light, like it was kind of dim, like it was.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, well, not lately. A few of my recordings, that's how I did in my closet. But I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't do this in my closet. You know what I mean? It's like, this. I literally wish I could record myself in my closet,
Mhm.
just so people could. I actually probably have a picture. But it's funny, like if people really knew as independent artists the things that we do, you have no idea. Like it's hilarious. You know what I mean?
No,
In a
it is.
sense, it's
It is.
creative and funny, and
Well, the thing I learned most about doing anything in life is you gotta try to have fun with it. Like
oh yeah,
if you take anything too seriously and you're not having fun with it, no matter how fun the thing is or can be, you won't have fun with it if you don't allow yourself to have fun with it.
right,
You
right.
know, and yeah, that is definitely one of the worst things to do is try to do something and you do not enjoy
Oh
that
yeah,
shit.
no.
You're like, what
I
the
mean, of
fuck
course,
am I
something's
doing?
gonna be, yeah, but it's like that's why we love what we do, so it's like we
hmm
keep doing it. You know what I mean?
No, that's a
Yeah,
fact. That's a fact.
yeah,
So I do have to ask this question too, because we got to talk about the fitness studio and everything.
yeah.
Do you have a fitness playlist? Like, do you have a workout playlist? And
Yeah.
what's on it if you do?
Well, I can walk you over to my. It's Do you want me to walk you over? Should I go over to my playlist
Yeah,
over there? It's
yeah.
Spotify. Let's see. I'll have to click on it. So when I like things, like obviously I put my own songs in there.
No, no, as you should.
Okay, Spotify. Let's see.
Yeah, we got to see what the
I'm
playlist looks
like,
like.
so yeah, if you could see it, let me find this. Your library.
Oh, you got it on
Okay.
the wall. Fancy.
Yeah. See, I'm like, can you see it?
I can, yeah.
Okay, so I have Lucid Dreams by Giuseppe. I can't even see the it's a remix. I like a lot of these like new remix or cover songs that like
Okay.
DJs or artists are doing.
hmm
It's actually inspired me and given me ideas because people have asked me to do a couple covers. So let's see. Can you see?
I can, yeah.
Oh, a lot of them honestly are probably covers. Oh, I'm gonna put Free Fallin' for Brad. He's one of the producers I worked with.
Shouts out to Brad.
Yeah. Killing Me Softly, it's another. A lot of it honestly is gonna be dance, like EDM
hmm
stuff. I have David Guetta, The Final Countdown.
Okay. All right. Shouts out to Ghetto.
Yeah. Obviously some Carol G, some reggaeton stuff in
hmm
there.
hmm
Celine Dion, believe it or not.
What?
It's a remix. It's The Power of Love. Let me see if it'll play. Let me see.
Celine Dion.
Yeah, they did a remix to the song.
No, because I know with your music you make a lot of dance music. So because a lot of people that like make a certain kind of music or
Yeah.
whatever, they don't tend to listen to that kind of music when they're working out.
Right. Well, I feel like my clients, I have a mix. I have honestly probably my clients are a little older,
Okay.
but I don't think sometimes they hear. And some of the dance music, like Celine Dion, can you hear it? It
Yeah, I can hear
literally.
it. I don't know if they're gonna try to get me for copyright or nothing.
Oh yeah. And we're throwing out a shout out to the artist.
But shouts out to Celine Dion, one of the
Like,
legends in the game.
but I mean, honestly, who doesn't love Celine Dion? You know what I mean? Like,
For real.
but then wait, so can you hear it?
Yeah, I hear it.
Watch. Oh. And it picks up.
Oh.
Right? I was like, that's kind of cool. Yeah. Honestly, I love, there's a mix of everything. Like, I probably have like Bee Gees in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm an old soul.
Gotcha.
And like I said, I have older clients and they love to, as long as I have a little mix and it's nothing too crazy. Hip hop, I don't do a whole lot of because I don't, but sometimes I'll close that door and I'm like, I feel like some old school, like, put on some like Tupac.
Okay, all right, okay.
But yeah, that's what about you?
So my music taste is very, very vast. Like obviously my favorite genre of music is hip hop, classic hip hop, like 90s, 2000s.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, I love that stuff.
I'm old.
Yeah.
I'm an old man in a young man's body.
Well, what's funny is like kids love that stuff. Like you hear them and they're listening to it and it's like, how the heck do they know who, like, all these older artists, or like, at least Dr. Dre and all that stuff. It's like,
yeah.
I love it. I take, there's DJs that play that stuff and everybody's like, yeah, you know what I mean?
No, that's a fact. Yeah.
Love.
Yeah, you feel me? Shouts out to Pac, man. Pac the greatest of all time, man. But yeah, I listen to a lot of stuff. Like in them kind of moments though, like I tend to listen to like R&B soul music.
Yeah.
Though.
Like
one of my favorite bands of all time is the SOS band.
I know the band, but tell me a song. I have to.
So they got so my favorite song from them is The Finest. Oh baby, you're the finest.
Oh yeah.
The finest. I'll sing.
Yeah.
So I love the SOS band. I really love the Whispers too.
Love the Whispers.
The
yes.
Whispers. Earth, Wind and Fire, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
that genre of music is like what I would tend to listen to on a regular basis, just like going through regular life.
So you like Aretha, Franklin, Donna Summer,
all of it, all the above.
I actually had an
Anita
idea.
Baker.
Yes. I had an idea of doing a cover.
Okay.
Or like, what do you call it? Like a disco, like a melody, like combining. So I thought Ain't Nobody.
Okay.
Donna Summer, Hot Stuff, and Whitney Houston's, and if anybody steals this is recorded.
Yeah.
Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody.
Okay.
So I actually, believe it or not, downloaded, because one day I had that genre of music playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like sitting here listening to it, how they were just so right on the same BP, right? Like I was like, how cool would that be? And I just started kind of singing like, ain't nobody loves me better than you, right? And it's like, I need some hot stuff, baby, this evening. And then I was just kind of like, we'll kind of match, and it's like, I want to dance with somebody. I was like, how sick would that be if like I could have somebody create that type of like melody? What would it be, like a little bit of disco funk, R&B, and combine. Obviously you'd leave Whitney Houston for the end because that's the girl,
Yeah.
But like you'd start it and it's like, so I downloaded this DJ app and I mixed them and sure enough they worked. So I was like, hey, now I'm like, I could, DJ CC in the house.
No, that's one of them things though too. Like where you be listening to music. I do this every day because and I don't understand. I'm gonna just say this on the pod. I don't understand people that are shocked that people listen to music every day. Like, why are you not listening to music every day?
You should listen to music every day.
Every day. Like, how do
It's
you
like,
not listen to music every day? But
yeah.
I digress.
Well, that's like people are like, you don't watch TV, you don't watch this. Actually, no. Like I will actually just find it on YouTube if it's important. First, the
Yeah.
news to me is like, don't, it's just negative unless it's actually something really important. But it's
Hmm.
like music. I'm writing, I'm singing, it's like other things, and you know what I mean?
Of
But I'm
course.
like, and I'm always constantly like researching or listening to like like not, I don't read because I'm like, it's easier to just stick it in my ear and it's like I'll walk on the treadmill. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And also my brain, it's just for me, I'm constantly creating.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like I'm don't know if you're, I'm sure you're this way. It's an
Yeah.
over process of like, take a second. Like there's just, it's a download that
Yes.
sometimes I can't even understand. It's like, oh my God, what do I do with it? You know?
So what I do is, so like when I'm listening to music, like I don't know if you do this too, but like let's say I'm listening to a hip hop song or something like that. Like I'll just start rhyming words like
Yeah.
as I'm listening to the song, and then I might come up with like a cool line or something like that. I'll immediately go and write it down like in my notes app or something like that. Like I'll
Yeah.
just write it down. So like I have like a like a long note, I guess you can call it, like a long ass note of just different like rhymes
So
or phrases or sentences that
I do the same thing, and I just name it song idea, or
yeah.
you know what I mean? Whatever, if it's in Spanish or dance or whatever, you
Hmm.
know. And sometimes I can come up really quick with like a chorus, a melody out
Yeah.
of nowhere,
Yes.
write it, record it. And then obviously, what do you know, they're top lines. You play with them and it's like it can change later. But it's like
Yep.
the fact that that stuff comes like that and people trip out, they're like, how do you do that? I'm like, I don't
Hmm.
know. It just comes to me. Like creating those songs, that was a natural creative instinct. And, you know, a lot of people, producers, DJs, songwriters, you know, we all have that. It's
Yeah.
just, sometimes it's like, it's overwhelming in a sense, but it's at the same
Hmm.
time, it's like amazing that we can do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
and for me, like it was, I would say the easiest part, at least from my experience so far, like being an artist, has been the writing part. Like the writing part of like writing my lyrics down and everything has been probably the easiest part for me because I'm always just thinking of like a line
yeah,
or
a
like a
story.
phrase or something like that, and
Yeah,
then being able to piece it together, I'm like, okay, all right. Well, obviously I know how to rhyme words. I know what rhymes with what, but I also think of like how to tell certain stories. So like I'm working on a project now that's a theme based project,
yeah,
so it has like the ability for me to tell stories within the project. There's only gonna be 5 songs, so I ain't got a whole lot of room to tell the story.
yeah.
But yeah, but anyway,
I
it's
love that. Yeah.
that's easy for me to like tell my story of like how I want to like structure the songs or structure the lyrics because now I have a theme. Whereas I'm just saying words that I think sound good and there's no story behind it necessarily.
So I have a question. Do you sometimes just do like where you write your songs like as a lyricist, like obviously like you're rapping
Mm,
without music, or do you always have music?
mm, I d- okay, so like everybody else, I'm sure. Like most of the time, my best ideas come when I'm in the shower.
No, yeah,
So when I'm in
seriously.
the shower, I always got music playing or like I got something playing. And I'll be in the shower and I just be like, I'll be rhyming.
Yeah.
so,
And you
so
get it's the best sound in the bathroom. It's
yeah,
like it
and
all echoes.
I reach my
It's
hand
like,
out, I reach my hand out the shower, I grab my phone, it'd be all water all on the phone, I'd be right in the yeah, I'll be like, all right, okay, all right. I got
yeah,
something I could build off now. Like I got this one line or I got these couple lines that I could just take and I never know like if it's gonna be like the top line or if it's gonna be like the end or if it's gonna be like in the
yeah.
middle. but that kind of just like
No, as
comes
long as you
together
that yeah, that's what
when
I
I'm
do.
when
You
I'm
you
writing it
just
out.
you come up with things, you write them, and then once you kind of like think about what you're going to write about after
Yeah.
you've had that, then it's like, okay, where am I placing this? And then you actually end
Hmm.
up finding, I know I do, I end up changing,
Yeah.
lyrics, and once you come up, and even once you're in recording or you hear the music with it, it's like, wait, that didn't sound right. Maybe let's
Hmm.
change this.
Which is what I was doing. So like that
Yeah.
was actually the coolest part of like the learning process of how to become an artist. So like when I was writing out my lyrics, I was like, okay, like I have a base of exactly what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Like this is pretty much what I'm going to say. And then I would just put the beat on and I would like, just practice over, like just rhyme it over. And I'd be like, okay, all right, that sounds good. Or then I might hear something. I'd be like, I might need an extra word right here, or I
Yeah.
might need to take this word out because it's a little too close together. Like
Or
that,
spread them out or hold it
right,
longer or double the
right,
words. You know what I
and
mean?
that
Like,
and
yeah.
that process was the most exciting part of the recording process for me. The whole recording process itself, like the actual laying the vocals, that's not my favorite part.
So do you practice your vocals before you lay them down? Like before you
Yeah,
go in and
yeah,
and
but again,
record?
it's different though. So like obviously I have the podcast, so I hear my vocals all the time,
Yeah.
but recording music like over a beat and then like adding a vocal effect or something like that, I was like, okay, all right, I don't necessarily like how I sound right now, but that's because it was the first time of me like really doing it for real. So no, I don't think anybody really likes like how they do the first time they do anything.
Yeah.
So that was the first hurdle I had to get over. And once I got over that hurdle, I started playing with the software and I found the vocal effects. So then when I found the vocal effects, I'm like, oh, this is how people be sounding good. Now I actually sound like somebody I would want to listen to.
Yeah, on the radio. But
Yeah,
yeah, that comes all
exactly.
later. The mix and mastering, all that stuff comes later.
So that whole process for me was really really fun. Like I just really enjoyed the idea of bringing something out of my brain, putting it on paper or putting it in my notes app, and
Yeah.
then putting it on the vocal track and hearing what it sounds like.
So let me ask you, when you're saying about your vocals, are you going for your actual voice, or do you want like a auto tune type? Like, how there's a lot of the artists, like some of my songs are
I'm
little,
so
you know what I
happy you
mean?
asked this question.
No, it's a true question, because there's sometimes where I'm like, some of my reggaeton songs, because
Hmm.
that's some of the stuff that's out there. It's the new style.
Right.
Like Carol G, for example, and a couple like Raul Alejandro, like they have that like auto tune sound,
Hmm.
but that is just how, you know what I mean? Not all their songs,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
some of the songs sound great like that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So a lot of times yes, I know how to do it, but I'm like, how's that really going to sound after, it's mixed and
Right.
mastered? So I always make the suggestion, can you just try, because it's an idea, or, right?
Yeah. Let me see. So originally, like just raw vocals. I
Well, not raw. I mean, they have what I always say is when they clean, they crisp them up, they clean them up.
Yeah, yeah. Like I have like an idea of how I be wanting to do it. So when I lay the raw vocals, I listen to the raw vocals and be like, okay, like it sounds clear, it sounds clean. Then when I put the vocal effects on, I didn't think that I would want to do this, but when I went in and I was testing like all the different vocal effects on my voice, I was like,
Yeah.
I want something that sounds like not like me, but like me. Like if you was to listen to it, you
Yeah.
wouldn't
Yeah.
immediately be like, "Oh, this is Nick."
Yeah.
But if you listen hard enough, you'd be like, "Oh, this is Nick."
Wait,
You
so if you were to ever, would you want to perform?
Yeah. Oh, I gotta tell you that story too. I got
Okay.
so so back in college, right? Uh I am what did I win? Two or three? I'm gonna just say three because I feel like I got ride one year, but anyway. I'm a three-time lip sync champion.
Okay. Milli Vanilli.
I'm a 3-time lip sync champion at my school. So the lip sync battle. So we had lip sync battles like for our, I'll just call it like our school spirit day or spirit week or whatever. And we would have it down in the performance theater where we also did act in the stage and everything. But since that was the only place for the stage, we did like music performances too. So I was asked to be a part of the lip sync battle. And I went and did it the first time.
That's
And
awesome.
and I did good. I had the crowd rocking. I was it was good. I think I'm a natural performer, even though I try to tell myself I'm not.
Wasn't there a show with like a Chrissy Teigen? Was it LL Cool J, or who was the? They would like have celebrities come out and like lip sync other artists, and they would have to perform just like the artists.
That is that's when they got the
Is it
costumes
lip
on,
sync
right?
battles?
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm picturing you.
No, yeah. So, but I was out there. Me though, I was myself. I just was lip syncing over the.
What song? What song?
I did. The first one I did was. Did I do "Don't"? I think I did "Don't" by Bryson Tiller. I think that was the first song I did. And then the second year, I did "You Rock My World" by Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah.
And then the third year, I did a duo. Me and my friend in college. We had did "All Right" by Kendrick Lamar, and we did, and then we had to do a second song because obviously it was us. We was lit.
You were fly.
Yeah, we did DMX. I can't remember what song it was, but we did a DMX song. So the whole idea
And
was
that
to
one
get the
must have
crowd
been
hyped.
hardcore, because DMX, if I remember his stuff, he's like,
I ain't barking nothing like that, I don't think, but I was out there and I was in the crowd. I was dapping people up. It was lit.
So you got the performance down.
Yeah. Now performing my own song, I don't know. I maybe, probably, I'm sure at some point that would be the case. I'm working on a song with a few different people, or a couple songs with a few different people. And when I was talking to them, they was like, "We need to figure out how we're going to perform this. Like, we need to perform this song live in front of people." And I was like, "I don't know yet. I don't know about that."
Well, it is like when you're performing, it's different when you're doing covers, but it's like when it's your song. I don't know. I'm also a very creative, like, director, visionary in that sense. Like, I have a vision of how I see myself and how I want my performance, and you know what I mean? I'm very visual in that sense, but it just goes back to like who I am, my artistry, and
Yeah.
so shit, I would have so much fun with that. You know what I mean? Like,
No, not for nothing. Like I do think that at some point, like once I get just more comfortable with the idea of, all right, I'm an artist. Like, I'm going to just lean into this.
well, it's
And
literally creating an alter ego. And let me tell you, like, I don't even think my family's ready for that alter ego. Like, actually, my best friend, she was like, she couldn't take me serious. I was like doing some dance. She's like my sister. She's like laughing at me. She's like, "Girl," she's like, "I've never like seen you this side of you." I'm like, "We get used to it, like." But it's just literally you have to do this like other persona, and you can't think about it. But that also goes back to like me having that little bit of the stage fright. You know what I mean? In a sense of like, she's almost out, but she's not quite almost out. You know what I mean? Like,
no, that's a fact. I think it's kind of like the opposite for me though. Like, where I'm that way, but like recording, like not necessarily on stage. Like on stage is like, all right, I'm out here. I can like show my full personality because I'm outside. Like, people can physically see me, but having the ability to show my full personality just through a recording is a lot more difficult than I thought it could be. Because obviously you can't see, like can't nobody see you, like they have nothing to like visualize per se, which is why music videos are so important. Like even still to this day, music
Yeah.
videos are still very important because you get to see the personality
And
of the artist.
yeah, and they people connect with you. And that's honestly one thing. I mean, if you have any, guidance in that, I've been asked that. And I'm like, I'm like, yes, I could do it. Maybe I
Hmm.
could do mini ones, you know what I mean? But it's like people have to remember all this stuff comes out of our pockets as
Yeah, yeah,
independent
yeah, yeah.
artists, and there's
Hmm.
only so much. So for me, it's like if I'm recording, like I'm gonna put that into that aspect of it. I would
Yeah.
love, but then it's like, well, why can't I just grab my phone with a walk around? And I actually have an idea tomorrow for my birthday. I already told everybody, be ready. I'm gonna take clips of it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And create something out of it. Kind of what I did with
Okay.
like Ecstasy on Spotify. If you see, I
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
did that. Just made a little thing, but like I said, it's another part of that I'm still kind of working on. But like you said, it's creating that visual of how do you want to project yourself,
Hmm.
to your audience, to people that are starting to listen to your music, because that's a big deal.
It is.
And I
It
always
is.
say people have either vision or they're gonna connect with you visually
Hmm.
and see what they like or what they hear. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like you got to find both angles at that, and how are you going to connect there?
No,
So that
this
process
is true.
is it's a little bit more. That's where I'm like, I need somebody helping me in that. You know what I mean? I have the ideas, but it's like that's the part where I'm like, okay, you know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
get it,
Well,
because if you do film, like,
no, yeah, right, I was about to say, well, that part, well, you gotta remember, I started off as an actor, so all of my ability, I guess, like being in front of a camera is more natural than me being behind the camera.
right,
Now, I think like the ideas of like, okay, I have a vision of how I want things to look, but it's more challenging for me because it's just more steps you got to take in order to make it look how you want it to look. Whereas if you're in front of the camera, all you gotta do is worry about doing your thing in front of the camera. You ain't gotta edit nothing. You ain't gotta color
yeah.
correct shit. Nothing.
You
You just
just
gotta,
show up,
yeah, you just
say
gotta
your
show up.
lines, act, and
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
And being able to improvise too is one of the things that I like super enjoyed about acting, especially in stage acting too. Like we always got a chance to like play improvisation games. Um and I always thrived in those because it allowed me to bring out a lot of my personality. Now,
yeah,
translating back to the music, like being able to do that on record is a little bit difficult for me because
yeah,
I don't think I've been doing it long enough to feel comfortable to be like, all right, this is how you do it. All you got to do is just be yourself. Like do the hard part, lay your vocals down, and then bust open some more tracks, and then do your little ad libs or do like a
yeah,
skit or something like that. Like have fun with the process, which
yeah,
goes back to what we talked about earlier.
yeah,
You
yeah,
gotta have fun doing
yeah,
anything that you're doing.
yeah.
Otherwise, you're not going to enjoy it, no matter
And
how
then
fun it is.
I mean, honestly, sometimes like, so I don't, what's your process like before you record? Do you warm up your vocals?
Mm,
Because
no, not
no.
particularly.
So for me, I have a process. Like I literally, I also, because my voice is fairly, back.
Hmm.
So for me, it's also protecting my vocal cords and projecting my sound properly.
Yeah.
So I take those initiative steps where I have to warm up,
Hmm.
whether it's 10 minutes or whether it's 30 minutes. And for me right now, it's about, as my voice gets stronger, it's a little bit less and less.
Right.
But there was a time where I had to take at least almost an hour just to get my vocal cords. But you have to remember, I lost them for 5 months.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
singing capacity of where I couldn't even hit a high note without my vocal
Hmm.
cords collapsing. So learning how to breathe again and like being able to spit out an entire line without me going, you know what I mean,
Right. Right.
gasping
Right.
for air. Um, so for me, like the other day, it was yesterday actually. I don't know, 15 minutes. And then I just ran a few lines. And sometimes
Mhm.
too, I'll just play with it and sing. And sometimes I think those are actually the best ones because you're not trying. And it's like you shouldn't really be trying, but then we get
Right.
in our heads and we're like, wait, maybe I should try this different. Maybe I should sing this different. Or you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what I was asking. I didn't know if you had like a process of like
Well,
warming up your vocals.
not necessarily that part of like is my process. Like I don't necessarily go through like vocal warm-ups per se, but like what I do is I do tone checks. So I
Yeah.
try to figure out like how I want to like what kind of tone I want my lyrics to come
Like
off
your
as.
key.
The
Like
hardest part is how to start, like what kind of energy to start off with. Because once you get rolling, like you already kind of like in it,
yeah.
so it's just natural. But you got to kind of like you got to like come through and you got to punch right in. Like
Yeah.
it's like, all right, do I don't want to yell too much on the microphone, but I don't want to like sound too light on the microphone. So
Yeah.
it's all of that like in
So
my
see that
head.
that's what I'm playing with on the mic. I'm like learning because you can fix it on your,
Yeah,
adjust
yeah.
the sound, but sometimes I'm like, it's too soft and that's
Hmm.
not my voice. And then it's like not projecting. And then when I'm too back, it's like that's why I'm like, this is, I'll record it best I can and sorry, producer.
Yeah, that's the hard part for me too.
Yeah.
And then I'm so another thing that I do that like just talking to people who do music professionally, they was like, yeah, this can work, but it's not it's not recommended like if you're going to like really do music. So what I usually do one takes, like I go straight through with my whole thing, and
And
it's like, yeah,
and that's
no,
recommended.
don't
Yeah.
don't do it like that if you don't have to. Like if you don't have to do it that way, don't do it that way. Like do part of it, punch it, and then punch in the next part. So I was learning how to punch in.
Wait, they told you to not run it through the whole way?
Like if I well for certain tracks, they was like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
don't go all the way through. Like if you got two or three verses, don't just press record,
Oh
say
yeah,
your
because
first
you don't
verse,
want it recording the
then wait.
whole
Yeah,
way. You
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
you'll stop it and then yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so they was teaching me how to punch in, and I was like,
yeah,
I've heard this term before, but I don't know what the fuck this means.
yeah.
And then I was trying to learn how to do it, and as I was learning how to do it, I'm like, okay, I have to match vocal tones.
Mhm.
I have to be on time to.
Yeah,
So I was like, all right, okay, this is giving me a different element of shit I need to focus on other than saying the words clearly.
yeah,
So
yeah. Because then you have to read the
yeah,
bars, the number at the top as you. And what I've been doing is like
I'm not a fan.
I actually once you learn it, and you know your song, and you know where you're supposed to come in. Like sometimes I'll just write the bar number
Mhm.
down on where my lyrics are, and because I'm recording it, so it's like I'll see, but you get so familiar with the sound and you
Yeah.
know already, and
Mhm.
it's just when you know your song, it's like bringing the energy. But then trust me, there's times where I'm all ah, ah, ah. You know what I mean?
That'd be the funny part for me, cause like, cause now, like, the more I'm doing it, the more I'm learning the lyrics, so now I don't even have to look at the phone with the lyrics on it to be like, "Alright,
Yeah,
I'm in, just move that shit to the side, press record, I know exactly what I'm saying." But
yeah,
now that it's like, okay, I gotta manage my energy now because I know it, so now, like, I could perform it with a different kinda energy, whereas if I'm reading it, like, you could tell I'm reading if, I'm reading.
yeah.
But yeah, that's one of those things that I'm trying to not perfect, but get better with, which is trying to figure out the tone that I'm trying to give
Yeah, and you're
and the
doing
energy that
great.
I'm trying to
That's
give.
And that's what it is. It's practice. Like like I will sit there just for shits and giggles and record and listen to myself and match the key and
Mhm.
because recording music and singing live are completely different.
Yeah.
And maybe this people too, like that's and I'm learning that aspect of, oh yeah, I forgot about that. You know what I mean? Because you actually hear yourself when you're with like live music. It's like, whoa, that sounds way different than the recording studio.
Mhm.
And I'm not a big fan sometimes, like I have to undo one headphone. I don't know about you.
Yes,
Because
yes.
I have to have like a natural sense of
I'll
hearing.
yell if I got
Yeah.
both of them on. Like
Yeah.
I'll project too much because I can't hear myself per se.
Yeah, or it's almost like it's we hear a different
Hmm.
us. You know what I mean? So I always have to take one off. And then I play with ear, like which one do
Yeah.
I like the way I sound better? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So see, we're yeah, all artists. We all do that, you know.
No,
But it's
that's why
fun.
I was
It's
telling you that like we all have similar experiences. Like even though we do different things or we do different things different ways, it's all the same like underlying like we all
yeah.
try to figure out how to be better at it, or we like do things that you wouldn't think somebody else does. Like, oh yeah, I'll be playing with the headphones. Like it's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Getting
Like,
close to the mic, getting stepping
uh-huh.
back, and that's the thing too, because my voice has always been a natural, like powerful, like loud voice, you
Mhm.
know. But it's also learning how to control that, especially now that like I you know I had to learn how to do my pitch control again and
Right.
get that back. So it was like retraining the brain of like, it's okay, you don't have to like, whoa,
Mhm.
like get the lyrics out. It's like take a breath and just sing it. But it's also there's certain songs that they're meant to be loud.
Yeah, that's
And
a fact.
yeah, and I like I said, I'm an old soul of a sense, like I love all those like powerful songs. Like
Mhm.
I love to belt. Like that's where I feel like my voice naturally shines like the most. Do
Right.
I love dance music? Are they the best songs to showcase somebody's vocal cords? Yes and no, depending on the song and the
Mhm.
artist. For me, that's why I like really love like R&B like stuff,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And that's actually one of the songs I'm working on. I'm gonna go home later today and finish recording. It's the one 21 in Gold.
Okay.
I collaborated with another artist. So that'll, yeah, it's like, and that's a story, it's literally, writing 21 songs and it's like literally a month. Nobody heard me but heaven, you know. I turned a pin into a portal, silence into a sound. Like it's literally my
Mm.
my my story.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and that one for me, it's like, oh, just a number is how I came alive. But it's just, I don't know. I love it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I ain't gonna lie. I'm excited to hear the new music that you're working on. Like I
Yeah.
said, I got a preview of the music that you've made, but I'm very 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 excited to hear the songs that you're working on, especially the ones that we talked about here today.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you have SoundCloud, I can share you a private link.
Okay, yeah, yeah, I do.
I got
I
some stuff
actually got a
on.
project on SoundCloud. It's
Oh,
it's and
okay.
it's funny though because it's only raw vocals. This was before I knew how to do the vocal effects.
And trust me, we all have those.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I'll definitely check it out though. You can definitely send it to me for
Yeah,
sure.
I'll send it to you. Yeah, yeah. That's where
Okay.
I'll upload a lot of my stuff when like I
Mhm.
wanted to showcase like to somebody, you know what I mean? And then when the time's right, when the songs are released, I release them on SoundCloud. I'll unprivate them or make or whatever the saying is. But they're all private right now except for Rush, Ecstasy, and the Hemicinthide.
Yeah.
So there's a few more. Take Me There is actually on there.
Oh, is it?
If you
Okay.
want a sneak peek to the full song.
All right.
But yeah, there's, another song called Eternity that is yeah, that one is that's you'll have to listen to that and give me your feedback.
I
It's
got you for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
We locked in now, so
Yeah.
I got you for
Yeah.
sure. Shit,
Yeah.
we might collaborate on a song one
I
day.
know, yeah. Yeah, you let me know.
So okay, so
Bring
one
some
last question.
soulful sound to your hip hop.
You feel me? You feel
Yep.
me? So I got one last question for you, but before because I know I got to get you out of here. So we're talking about some of your songs. Do you have one favorite song that you've done so far?
Lost Within Myself.
Okay.
It's a ballad that I plan to do ballads towards the end of the year, early January. That winter time when people are like
Yeah.
struggling.
Yeah.
It's all about, releasing certain genres of music at a certain amount of time. That's just how
Oh
creative
yeah.
I became in that sense. Like
I know.
Dance song,
I'm on the
summer.
clock currently right now
Yeah.
because I got to release my song, my project before the summer ends.
Yeah. And that's how I like literally like I structured it. Like, how am I
Hmm.
going to do this, you know? So in case, and I think that's important to showcase too, like the business part of it
Hmm.
as an independent artist. It's like you're not just throwing things out there. I have an entire idea. I have a creative process of what I'm doing, you know? And so that is what makes it important and successful, and branding yourself, you
Yes,
know. And for honestly anybody in the industry watching, you know, like that's important, you know, for them to
that's
see that.
extremely
Like,
important.
yeah, you're not just somebody out throwing shit. You actually, your shit's planned. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And at least mine it is like I have an idea, not an idea. I have a structure. You know, I know
Hmm.
what I want and I know what I'm gonna put out there.
I think for me too, like I always tell people when they ask me about like being a rapper or being an artist, I'll be like, hey, I'm not a rapper. I'm not. But when I got the headphones on and I got the mic in front of me,
Yeah,
I'm the best rapper to ever live.
I love
And then
it.
when I take it off, I'm not a rapper again.
See that you're the it's your ego.
It's my alter ego, like you were
And you know
saying.
what? Actually, I just got excited because I forgot about my other reggaeton song that I'm
Oh
still
yeah,
working
talk to me.
on.
Yeah.
Actually, that's my favorite song. Which
All
other
right.
than that
Okay.
one,
What's it called?
Culito VIP.
Okay. All right. All right.
So literally, I sang it to a few friends just randomly, like raw, and they were like, "Dude, that's the song right there." They're like, "That's the song that's like it's gonna blow you up." And I literally, I'm like, when you just get inspired by other artists and you hear and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Well, I'm gonna write something like that." You know what I mean? Like, why can't I be freaking bold and like
Yeah.
unapologetic, and everybody else
Mm-hmm.
is talking stuff. So I'm like,
Yeah, that's what I'm currently doing on one of my songs. I am
yeah, you
pretty
have
much
to,
shit
and
talking the whole
yeah,
song.
it's you have to go for it, and that's the fun
Yeah,
part about being an artist.
it
It's
is.
creative, and do what you love.
Is that song recorded? Like, is it anywhere that we can find it yet, or not yet?
No, I'm still.
Okay,
I mean, I've
okay.
done little like demo parts of it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still in the process of like, okay, how do I want the intro to sound? What am I
Yeah,
going to say?
yeah.
I'm still working in that process. And actually earlier today I was like, this is how when I write my songs, I write them, but then I go back and I read them. But then
Mm-hmm.
I read them in a sense of like, well, how am I? Okay, I wrote it, but how do I want that to sound? You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
So I'll sing it with the song, and it's like, okay, all right. So, and there's a few parts where I'm like, actually, not, I wouldn't call it rapping, but I'm speaking faster in
Mm-hmm.
Spanish. You know what I mean? So that's the part that's like, okay, how do I really want that to sound?
I'm excited for this one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's honestly it's a
I'm
different.
excited for this one.
I love writing, so for me, it's exciting, and it's exciting for me to showcase that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
That's,
culito VIP.
all right, well, shit.
Tú
We
quieres,
will.
tú quieres, tú quieres
Oh,
culito,
let me get a
pero
little
papi,
sneak
papi.
peek. Yeah.
Tú sueña bonito. It's
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
catchy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I need I need that on my playlist.
I'm telling you, I literally think that's like that. I think that might, like my friend said, that might be your song, Candy.
Yeah. Hey, we just
So
gotta get it done now. Get it
yeah,
done and get it
I know,
out.
I know.
Yeah.
That's next. After I got two, no, yeah, two more songs to record, and then I'll move on to that one. So
You have a full project coming out?
oh, I literally have multiple songs written.
Okay.
So I have, let's see, Digital Flame, which is like a dance kind of pop.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would throw in a little R&B in there. Um, that's already ready to release. Eternity, which is another like EDM style. Dancing Through the Pain, which is another song that I wrote, from the soul of like
Got
pain
you.
that I was going through. That one, but I created it fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's on SoundCloud, so I'll share that with you.
Okay.
Um, yesterday I finished a song, Ride This Wave. That one I plan on pitching to Jamie O'Brien. If you're if you know, he's like a really big YouTube surf, like he surfs all around the world.
Okay.
It would just be a perfect song for him to like put, or any surf, any of those surfer bloggers. It would be amazing. It's just like a chill EDM, tropical. Think tropical.
Got you.
Like tropical EDM. Let's ride this wave. We ride all the way. Like,
All
yeah.
right.
So,
okay.
That one's done, and then next is 21 in Gold, and then I have my first reggaeton that I'll be recording, Baila Conmigo. So that one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a lot, and there's still a whole other list of songs that I'm like, I got. So. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you have a name for your project yet, or not yet?
So I plan. When you say project, are you asking like EPs, or are you asking if I have an album?
Like whatever your project, whatever you classify your project.
Okay,
as.
so EP. I plan on doing EPs. Like,
okay.
Just So EP. So this last song, "Take Me There," will be the first, my EP, Lucid Dreams.
Okay.
And then I'll do Eternity. I'll add that into a bonus track.
Got you.
So that one's done. And then Digital Flame, which will be kind of like that little bit of a dance pop R&B sound. You know what I mean? That'll come out. But at the same time, I'm going to sneak in some reggaeton. You know what I mean? So it's like.
Nah. You kick the goddamn door down with that. Don't sneak it in. Kick the door down.
Yeah. So, yeah. And do you ever pay attention to like your following on Instagram? Like who your followers are? And
yeah.
So I've noticed that I have actually a huge following, like mi gente, like Colombia, Brazil, Mexico City, so it's like that international side is like literally like giving me love. So I'm like, props to them. Thank you. You know what I mean? For the support.
So now you gotta feed them now.
I know. Why I was teasing with Déjame Sentir. I wanted to like show a little bit of the Spanglish in there, But
you gotta feed them now. Don't sneak nothing in with reggaeton. You kick the door off the goddamn hinges.
Oh yeah, I'm coming with that one.
Okay, all right. So I know I gotta get you out of there. So before we go, do you have any final questions for me about anything? It could be anything.
No, I think good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course. You enjoyed yourself? You had a good time?
I did. Yeah. I totally did. Thank you. And thank you for letting me be open and sharing my story. And
thank you for feeling comfortable enough to be open and share your story with me and the rest of the HolloTalk Podcast listeners and supporters.
Yeah. It's just, it's who I am. It's the truth. I think people need to hear that too. You know what I mean? Everybody has their moments in life, and it's just being strong and knowing who you are.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So let the people know where they can find you: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, anything.
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Candy Caroline Music, Snapchat. I believe it's under just Candy Caroline. I'll have to double check that one. Okay. And then Spotify, Apple Music, just Candy Caroline.
All right.
Yeah, all major streaming platforms. So just iHeartRadio, all of it.
All right. Well, Candy Caroline, thank you for coming to talk to me, Jetpack Nick, on the HolloTalk Podcast. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I'm very, very glad that we was able to meet up and do this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course.
And we'll talk soon.
Yeah, and before you go, I want to thank all the HolloTalk Podcast listeners and supporters for supporting us through and through. And please go support my girl, Candy Caroline. Also, too, happy early birthday once again.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap, y'all.
I'm ready to go celebrate.
Go do your thing. Peace and love, y'all.
Bye.